What's going on, Mullen fans out there? Back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in for another one. I want to get right into this one and not waste your time. Lawrence Harge's name is ringing bells right now, as you all know, with the partnership with EV Technologies LLC and also Mullen starting their own LLC under the name of Mullen Advanced Energy Operations, or MAEO. I was looking into a little bit of information on Lawrence Harge, and the man is a go-getter. I know a lot of people right now are sharing a lot of information about him, whether it's on different platforms or whatever. I wanted to give you guys my take on it because I think he is legit and certified. I think he has something special to offer to EV technology global, and it will definitely have a great impact on Mullen Automotive. Harge is the founder of Global EV Technology Incorporated, Chief Scientist Officer, and he's a successful lifelong investor with a storied career over 30 years. Some of his accomplishments includes that he has over 120 intellectual prototypes as well as numerous patents and trademarks. He's an inventor of Knockout 360 fire extinguisher. Something else caught my eye as part of the text out of the press release yesterday. Let's read into it and see what we can come up with. It says, under the newly formed entity, Mullen owns 51% and will consolidate the results of its operations in Mullen Automotive, Inc. Under the agreement between the parties, Global EV Technology will be contributing its technology and existing contracts to MAEO, and Mullen will provide capital, execution, and commercialization to grow the business. Some things in there that stood out to me. One is, the main controversial thing that people don't want to hear is that Mullen was providing capital. It doesn't say how much capital that they will be providing or where it's coming from, which will raise a lot of questions and uncertainty to shareholders. But besides that, this next point is the main one that I wanted to talk about, is that it states it will be contributing existing contracts to Mullen. What kind of contracts? Like battery technology contracts, government contracts? I also saw this LinkedIn feed off of Twitter shared by Tony Stank 3K. Check out the circled section for EV Technologies. It says Mr. Kent did serve as the president and CEO of EV Technologies, a minority-owned DC incorporated business bringing innovative EV technology to every aspect of our life and communities. Kent established operations for EV Technology LLC in the Washington, D.C. area and secured their first government contract. So while Mr. Kent served as CEO of EV Technologies and a government contract was secured, back to the text I highlighted, said Global EV Technology will be contributing its technology and existing contracts to Mullen Advanced Energy Operations. So Mullen could possibly be inheriting a government contract, just as Tony Stank 3K was asking. Shout out to you for finding that. And if anybody has any other additional information on this government contract with EV Technologies or any other contracts that could possibly be on the table that Mullen Automotive will be inheriting as part of the partnership, leave it down in the comment section so we can discuss it. So Lawrence Harge's EV technology could increase the mileage on the Charge, which is a big deal, something that will stand out in the EV industry and put Mullen ahead of the game. And some may be wondering if his technology is legit or not. And I saw this article that came out February 14th, 2022, where Lawrence Harge is actually giving his statements about his technology. I wanted to read that to you all. It says, as an electrical inventor, he is ahead of the curve on the electric car battery, and the effectiveness of his product has been certified by the world's top testing lab, he said. Ford Motor Company recommended me to the largest international testing lab in the world to send my vehicles to be tested, he says. And I got them certified to do what I say they do. And they, the environmental engineers, EPA, the Department of Commerce, signed off on them, and they put in the documentation to be determined by Harge if he wants to put it in a wheelchair, a drone, a tank, a truck. He's proven that it works. I should have said this earlier in regards of the government contract that Mullen may have inherited from EV Technologies, but better late than never. I just found this. Contracting considerations. A critical consideration in acquiring a federal contractor is the transfer of its contracts to the new owner. Though the Anti-Assignment Act generally prohibits the transfer or sale of government contracts, the FAR establishes novation procedures where the government will consent to the transfer. When federal contracts are transferred as part of the sale of all or substantially all of the company's assets to another entity, the government may consent if the new entity has the capability to perform, has required security clearances and other applicable qualifications, and has the ability to assume all obligations under the contract. Where the government consents to a transfer, a novation agreement is signed by the buyer and seller, and the government formally recognizes the buyer as the successor in interest to the contract. So let me know what you guys think. Did Mullen Automotive inherit a government contract through EV Technologies partnership? And with that being said, if you do think so, could that possibly be one of the big announcements coming down the pipeline for Mullen stock? Hope y'all find this information valuable. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Stay charged up out there. Don't feed the fear, and I'll catch y'all the next one. I'm gone. Go.